Hey y'all, it's me Marty. Welcome to another video. And in this video, I am going to share with you just some of my favorite outdoor adventure books. I thought it'd make for a fun little video and just talk about some of my favorite books that I like to read about the great outdoors. So it is Monday, June 24th, 2024. I know y'all like when I do that. Like we don't know what year it is. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's kind of hot out. It's about 82 degrees here in Minnesota. Just got home. I got home this morning, and from being on the road about 10 days or so. And I'm home for the week, so I'm so happy to be home, spend time with my wife and doing chores, and I got a few videos I'll do too. And I just thought this would be a fun, kind of laid back, different video. I think I did this once before, years ago. I don't know. Anyway, thought I'd do a new one. And this isn't even all the books, but this is just some of them that I enjoy. And I really enjoy reading. I do, and I like fiction and nonfiction, but, I like fiction more, but I like all different books. And I really like, I like survival stories. I like adventure stories. I like true stories. I like redemption stories, and I just enjoy that. So I have a variety here. I have some true story books. I have some informational books. I have my favorite author, some of his books, and then I have just a few just fun to read books. And actually, I have another one, but I think it's out in the truck. Or actually, it might be in one of my backpacks. I don't know. Again, this isn't all of them, but this is just a few. And just to give you a taste of some good books to check out if you enjoy the outdoors and you like to read. For me, when I can't be out enjoying the outdoors, I like to read about it or watch videos about it. It's just kind of fun. And with the backdrop of my backpack collection here, I got backpack issues, y'all. But it's just fun. It's my hobby. I don't spend a lot of money on it, and I don't have a lot of other hobbies, and it's just kind of fun. So here's the thing, y'all. I have enjoyed the outdoors my whole life. I have. I mean, when I was a kid, I went camping and fishing and ice fishing with my dad, and then later on in years, I kind of took a break on my teen years and young adult years. I didn't do a whole lot outside, and actually when I was a younger teenager, I did a lot of bike riding, and I had a little backpack, and I just go on some different hikes and stuff. And again, I did a lot of camping with my dad. But then in my older teen years and young adult years, didn't do a whole lot. I was just kind of lost, trying to find myself, and I found Jesus, and that's most important. And then I had true joy, and I'll never lose that. Anywho, and then when I got married and had kids, then we started camping again. The tent camper, and then a pop-up camper, and then a little RV, and just enjoying camping and outdoors and stuff. And then later through the years, my wife and I, we live in the country now, and we can have campfire anytime we want. It's like we're camping all the time. We love it, living in the country. We have a nice little hobby farm here. It's a blessing. In west central Minnesota, and and the last so I've enjoyed the outdoors my whole life, but the last about 4 years, around the time COVID hit, that whole thing, I really got more into hiking, backpacking, bushcraft, and just learning. And I'm just learning. I'm an amateur at everything. I'm just always learning. I never want to stop learning. And but yeah, I started collecting backpacks. There's just something about having a pack on and being prepared and having everything, the gear and all the different things that you would need. And there's something also about not having much and learning to, that's the whole bushcraft thing, learning to use your natural resources and learn about your surroundings and build things and shelters and fire making, all that different stuff. It's just kind of fun to have a backpack, have a pack. So I have some different size ones. Basically, I have, there's 4 I'm really going to keep. I have my big military surplus case vac one, and I got to do a video on that one. And I think what I'm going to do is just put military surplus stuff in that pack, and that'll be my big military surplus pack. Then I have this Max Tech one, Max Tech, something like that. This is a 50-liter one. This is going to be my big overnight pack, and I'm going to work on that this week. Just putting a whole bunch of stuff like in there, like if I was going to do overnights, if my wife and I were going to camp or something. And then I have my Rush 24 511. That's my all-around day pack. And then I have my lightweight summer day pack that I showed you the other day. And then I'm going to do a video on this thing too. It's not a backpack, it's something else. And I'm going to do a video on that coming up. And that one has to do with water. All the other packs you see, I'm going to give away. And I've already given away 8 or 10, I think. So, yeah, I started getting them and really good deals on them and stuff. But I don't need so many, so I want to give them away and help other people get into hiking and backpacking and camping and bushcraft and stuff. And yeah, I'll keep by a few. But yeah, anyway. And I got my bushcraft survival belt and my military surplus shirt and hat that I like to wear when I'm hiking. That's all my gear. And I have shelves full of just stuff most of it is DIY and thrifty stuff and all kinds of tarps and military surplus stuff and fun stuff over there. And then I got a raft hanging from the window or the ceiling. There's a raft there that's hanging up there. It is. And it's almost out of air, so I got to pump it up. And this week I'm hoping maybe get in the water on my raft and maybe get in the water. Well, actually I am. Wednesday morning I'm going to get in the canoe. And yeah, and I might even go kayaking Wednesday evening. We'll see. Anywho, it's not about all that. Sorry, I'm rambling. And that's what I do. Anyway, I'm just going to go through these books quick. You know, I'm not going to like talk a lot about them. I'm just going to show some different things. Okay, some more informational books. Let's start with the bigger ones here. And these are just cool, fun to read books because there's lots of information and lots of colorful pages and everything. Outdoor Life: The Ultimate Bushcraft Survival Manual. 272 Wilderness Skills. Great book. This is one of those that are fun to read. I mean, there's so much good stuff in here. All kinds of good stuff. Field and Stream: The Total Outdoorsman Manual. 374 skills you need. Another, just full color pages, and they show you how to do stuff. They're just fun to read. Lots of great information. The Complete Idiot's Guide to Hiking, Camping, and the Great Outdoors. I like this one, and it comes from a different point of view, but also great pictures, and there's some funny stuff and some serious stuff too. Great book. Outdoor Life again: The Emergency Survival Manual. Over 300 life-saving tips and skills. I was actually reading this and learning some stuff this week. Another great one. Super. These are just great to get. Actually, my wife got me a few of these. A couple of them I got not in like outdoor camping stores. I think they were like in Menards or Walmart or whatever. She got me these, and I like these. These are Peterson Field Guides. Really good ones. This one is about trees. Sorry, the lighting is horrible in here because the sun's behind clouds. Actually looks like it's gonna rain. That would be nice, cool it off. Anyway, but it's really bright on the camera there, but I got my light up here going and ceiling fan going. And sorry, the lighting isn't. Peterson Guides. This one's about trees. All kinds of great information about every tree in the world. Well, it's not every tree in the world, but it's a lot of trees. Anyway, this one I really like, and there's so much in here. But this one's good if you're gonna look up something and just learn stuff. And I want to learn more of this. Field Guide to Edible Wild Plants. Because there's things out there you can eat, and there's things out there you can't eat. And for everything that looks really good, and I already marked a whole bunch of them in here, there's like an identical twin that's poisonous. So you got to be really careful. So you got to know what you're eating out there. So yeah, that's a really good one too. Okay, then a few more fun ones. Funny trail tales. There's a couple of really funny ones. And I like reading stories and just that's a good one. Funny trail tales. This isn't really outdoors, but I threw this in here. Uncle John's bathroom reader. Plunges into Minnesota. It's outdoor. Most of it is outdoor stuff. It's funny stuff and just things about Minnesota. These are fun to read. I think it's weird though when people put these in their bathroom. Just Go and do your business and get out of there. Don't be sitting in the bathroom reading. I don't think that's necessary unless you live alone. I mean, otherwise somebody else might need to, use the bathroom. I mean, we live in the country, and I love living in the country for many reasons. And one, if somebody's in the restroom or the bathroom, if my wife is in the bathroom, I can go outside. I know it's weird, but it just feels good to do it out there. Anywho, but yeah, but then you're on the toilet, and then you're reading a book, and somebody else is going to touch that book. I mean, even if you wash your hands, I don't know. I like that. It's funny, a bathroom reader. Actually, I got a couple of these, I think. And they're funny stories and stuff. But yeah, don't put them in the bathroom. This is fun. A Pioneer Sampler. Daily Life of a Pioneer Family in 1840. These are fun to read. Great information. I mean, the pictures and the way they lived and the history. Oh, these are great. These are great. This is really fun to read. It's fun to read. It's just neat. I like it. Reminds me of Little House on the Prairie too. The Laura Ingalls books. Those are really good. We used to have them. I don't know if one of the kids have them now, but I read those to the kids when they were little. Great stories, and it's all true about Laura's life. Okay, then a pile here of, these are all true stories pretty much, I think, here. A Walk Across America, Peter Jenkins. Guy just walked across America. This is one of the older ones. There's a bunch of books about somebody just walking across America or walking a trail or whatever. This is one of the older ones, and it's a good story. I haven't read it in a long time, but it's a little paperback. You can tell I think it's in the 70s or 80s, but great story. Peter Jenkins, he's wrote some good books on the outdoors. I think this is true, but not really sure. A Walk in the Woods, Bill Bryson. Very good book. It's hilarious. Great movie too. Robert Redford and Nick Nolte. Great movie. Yeah, and I think it's kind of Bill Bryson. He actually did it, and he started to walk the Appalachian Trail, and then he kind of embellished the story, I think. But great book and movie. And this was one I just recently got. Recently. I think it was last year when my wife and I went up to the North Shore for our anniversary, which we haven't yet got up there this year yet. Hopefully soon. And there was a little bookstore up there, and they had all kinds of really cool books, and a lot of them are outdoorsy, and the North Shore of Minnesota, and camping, hiking stuff. And this is a more serious book. This is about two guys, I believe it was Dan and Jason. Two different stories going on here, so it's a little... I'd almost rather have it be in two different books, but it's one book, and it goes back and forth between the two stories. I'm going to read it again. I only read it once, but I really liked it because about two guys that survived being lost in northern Minnesota, and their stories and what happened and how they survived and stuff. And both really good stories. It's kind of two stories in one book. And this one, I don't think I've finished, but it's a great book, and it's Grandma Gatewood's Walk, the inspiring story of a woman who saved the Appalachian Trail. And I think, was this back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, something like that? And she walked the Appalachian Trail. Oh, and she didn't even have hiking shoes. I think she had an umbrella and a little bag of bread and a little bottle of water. Nothing. I mean, she wasn't prepared, and she did it. She did it, and she learned and adapted and learned about the outdoors and stuff. And great book. I haven't finished it. I think I'm about 3/4 through, and then I went on to something else. I don't know. I'll have to finish this. But great book and an amazing story. Hiking Through, One Man's Journey to Peace and Freedom on the Appalachian Trail, Paul Stutzman. I read this one quite a few years ago, actually. One of the first outdoorsy books I read in recent years. And his wife passed away of cancer, and then he was just kind of lost and decided to go for a hike, and just to kind of clear his mind and see what direction he wants to go in life now. What's he going to do? It was kind of a spiritual journey for him, I think, too. Really good book, and he walked the Appalachian Trail. Really cool. And then that's one of the first books that got me interested in the Appalachian Trail and all trails and hiking more. And here's a few older ones I've had for a long time. Call of the North Wind. Voyages and Adventures on Lake Superior. Really cool stories, and there's pictures in here of people's boats and the ships and stuff. Lake Superior is northern Minnesota. Oh, it's Canada also, and Wisconsin and Michigan too, but it's mostly ours. No, but is it the second largest freshwater lake in the world? I believe it. I think it's the second largest, and it's amazing. Yeah, it's huge. It's beautiful up there. And these, stories on Lake Superior. Along the Edge of America, another one by Peter Jenkins. This time, I believe he took a sailboat on the eastern coast. If I remember right. Yeah. Yep. We go through around the Gulf, Florida Keys, all the different. Yeah, really good. I just like adventure stories about people going on an adventure, on a journey, whether it's to find themselves or to find someone or just to enjoy the outdoors and God's creation. I just think it's neat, and I like survival stories and stuff. Alone Against the Atlantic. I haven't read this forever. One of the first ones I ever read. Gary Spies, or Spies, I think it's Spies. He built a sailboat and sailed around the Atlantic, or across the Atlantic. Yeah, I was a teenager, I think, when I read this. You know, another book that was really good that I don't have, Adrift. Steve Callahan, I think. I'm not positive on that. Don't quote me, but his sailboat sunk or capsized or whatever, and then he was in a raft for, I don't know, 70 days, 90 days, something like that. That's a really good book. One of my favorite books. And I think they made a movie about it, and I don't think I've ever seen it. Anyway, yeah. So that's just some of my favorites. And then a couple series here. My favorite author is Richard Paul Evans. And, talk about journeys and redemption stories. That's what all his books are. And I have almost all his books. Great writer, and I like the way he writes, kind of almost in journal or diary form, and a lot of them are redemption stories. People on a journey and just kind of lost in life and hard times, and then most of them have God in it, and they find God, and it's just life changing and life giving. It's just wonderful. This is his Walk series. I think this is my favorite of all his books. And it's four books? Oh, yeah, 5 books. It's the Walk series. And very cool. This guy, I think, another one, his wife died, and he lost his business, and a whole bunch of things happened at once, and he decided to walk across the country. And I don't know if this is a true story or kind of inspired by a true story, but he lived in Seattle, I think. I think he was in Seattle, Washington, and he wanted to go to the farthest he could go in the country. And so he picked the Florida Keys. So he walked from Seattle, Washington to the Florida Keys. He walked across the country. And there's 5 books of his walk. I've read this 3 or 4 times now, and I love it because he just walks. I like that. And I'm a truck driver, and I've been all over the country, and so I know all the places he's been, and this is kind of neat. And I can't imagine walking the whole way. Maybe biking, but yeah, I don't know. But he walked it, and it's just neat. All the people he meets and all the things that happen. Some good things, some bad things. He ends up in the hospital like 3 times on his journey. But really good series of books called The Walk. And there's 5 of them in the series. And it's all his journey from Washington to Florida. And then his other series here, The Broken Road. There's 3 books in this series. And this is another neat one. I think this is inspired by a true story. A guy, kind of a selfish guy. He's rich, but he's kind of selfish and just kind of all about himself and everything. And he's about to get on a plane, and then he misses his plane, and the plane crashes. And everybody thinks he died. And so he just lets them believe that and decides, I'm going to go for a walk. And he just realizes that he's not living right. And he needs to be less selfish and think about other people more. And it's life-changing for him. And he walks from Chicago to California. He walks Route 66 the whole way. And it's called the Broken Road. well, the Broken Road, the Broken Road series, Broken Road, the Forgotten Road, and the Road Home. And it's really neat what happens to him too. He meets people and things happen, and it's life changing for him. So kind of a neat story. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, I do have other books that I like that are outdoorsy adventure kind of books and stuff, and there's ones I've had and I've given them away, or but yeah, that's just a few some good books that I like to read. I kind of looking at them, I'm like, yeah, I want to read some of these again. I haven't. It's been a long time, and but yeah, give them a check. So if you have a book that you like, that's an outdoor story or an outdoor book, informational book, or fiction or nonfiction or whatever, or adventure stories or survival stories, put it down in the comments. I want to know. I know there's a lot of other ones out there. There's a couple of books I want to get. There's a couple other movies I want to see, just about people going on a hike, going on a walk, an adventure, a journey, and survival, and yeah, finding joy. And I just like those kind of stories and stuff. And yeah, so yeah, put them in the comments and let me know what you think of these books and if you read them. Yeah, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe and click the bell and all that fun stuff, and share and comment and watch more of my videos. And anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoy my videos on my channel. I just like to share my life whenever I think of something interesting to share. And yeah, I got a few I'm going to do this week, so some other things. And I think I am going to upload more of my older videos, some more adventures and woodworking and different things. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, anyway, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next adventure.